The rise of burnout today is staggering, but on the upside, mental health awareness is thankfully on the rise as well. Now, some believe that work life balance is how to avoid burnout, which typically includes things like fatigue, brain fog, heavy body sensations, and a sense of hopelessness. Now, luckily, burnout prevention strategies do not have to be complicated, and holistic methods like bioenergetics can be very effective for fatigue management. Hi, my name is Brian Tress. I'm the Director of Education here at the Somatic Coaching Academy, and I want to share with you an idea that burnout is not a problem, it's a blessing. Now, that might sound crazy, but consider this. At this moment, upwards of 75% of adult workers are experiencing work-related stress, and excessive stress is what leads to burnout. Now, according to the World Health Organization, burnout is a syndrome resulting from workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. And burnout, according to the WHO, has three specific dimensions associated with it. Number one, people experience a significant loss of energy. Number two, people experience feelings of negativity towards their job or their life situation. And third, people experience hopelessness and a lack of purpose. So let's look at all three of these a little bit closer. Let's first go with the loss of energy. Now, when we experience stress, it consumes a tremendous amount of energy. And we've talked about this in other videos that we want to go back and look at, that when we feel threatened, we experience stress. And when we experience stress, really what's happening in our brains is an activation of what we call the HPA axis. So what does that mean? Well, H is the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus gets stimulated and it sends information to the pituitary gland, which is the P. And then the pituitary gland sends information to the adrenal gland, which is the A. So that's HPA axis. And when that connection happens, our adrenal glands release adrenaline and cortisol. This is the neurobiology of fight or flight. So essentially, our body is running at maximum RPMs to deal with life and the life stressors that are going on around us. Now, when we are running at those high RPMs, those extremely high RPMs, it's not sustainable. And our bodies, may eventually have really terrible things happen, like heart attacks, strokes, pain, mental illness, and even death. So here's the thing, folks. If you have found yourself burned out, your body may have just saved your life. Now, our bodies are always doing the best that they can to help us live better lives. And if we want to support our bodies in doing that, and even before we run out of gas like that, then understanding something about bioenergetics to start with is a great place to start. So, whether we realize it or not, like alternative medicine professionals and holistic medicine professionals, using things like diaphragmatic breathing and self-massage and meditation, they're working with bioenergetics in some way, which is slightly different than bioenergetics therapy. So for now, let's just kind of make this really easy to understand. Now, bioenergetics understands that our bodies make their own energy by combining the food that we eat and also the air that we breathe. That's one way. Now, our body's energy systems are also influenced by the environment around us and the people around us. Now, the energy in our body circulates throughout the body, and the energy goes to certain parts of the body depending on what we have going on in the world when we need things most. So when we're excessively stressed, lots of energy in the body is being used in our muscular systems to contract things like our arms and our legs, think fight, flight. But also our heart contracts and our guts contract as well. So that's where a lot of the energy is going towards. Now there's a lot less energy, very little energy actually, in places like our immune system. Our immune system shuts down when we're stressed. Our digestion shuts down. We have a very difficult time getting nutrients out of our food when we're experiencing stress. And our pulmonary systems actually are less efficient as well. When we experience stress, we tend to breathe really shallow and high, like that. We're not really getting good, deep breathing. So we're actually getting less oxygen over the long term when we're experiencing excessive stress. So the reason that that's important to understand is because those are the exact systems that our body uses to make energy. So essentially, when we're stressed, the majority of our body's energy is being used to consume more energy and not make more energy. Now, what we call burnout is your body reversing that situation, reversing that process, and just basically taking that energy, re-diverting the energy back to our gut, back to our pulmonary system, and most specifically back to our immune system again. So the result that we're of having very little energy. So when we talk about burnout and there's very little energy available in our muscles, especially now, because it's been taken back out of our muscles because it was running so hot and high for so long, and we could have died if it kept going like that. So our body shifts back to a different state, what we call burnout. It saves our life, but now we have very little energy in our muscles. We call that fatigue. So that's the fatigue now associated with what we call burnout. Also, there's a lot more energy in our immune system. And if you've ever been down with the flu and you're in bed, you're exhausted, right? And so that's essentially your immune system using tons of energy to create inflammation in the body in order to fight off the disease. If you've been running high for a long time with excessive stress, and your muscles are essentially getting really broken down from excessive tension over a long period of time, and we never recover that, we never spend time to recover, eventually our body's going to flip us totally the other direction, and we're going to have to increase a lot of inflammation, do a lot of healing. And that's associated with a drop in muscular energy. So we don't feel as energized, we don't feel as vital. The inflammation comes up, which actually can create soreness and even chronic pain. And this all happens in an attempt to save your life because we are running too hot for too long. So let's go to the second one, which is feelings of negativity. So when our body's out of gas, just that alone will impact mental wellness. Again, think if you're in bed with the flu and your body's using all of this energy to try to heal yourself. It's really hard to feel positive, isn't it? Like just having less energy, just having less vitality makes us feel more miserable emotionally and mentally. So I think probably most of us would probably agree that feeling happy, what we call happy, is associated with more robust energy, which is why, how to recover from burnout and even burnout prevention always starts with increasing the flow of energy in the body. And improving positivity must always start with things like core centering, which is one of the programs we teach here at the Somatic Coaching Academy. And it also must be sustained through positive environment and relationships. Doesn't matter how much work you're doing on yourself every single day to increase your own levels of robust energy. If also every day you're in an environment that is toxic or in relationships that are toxic. So when it comes to relationships, which is this second thing we're talking about with burnout, this is really important. If we're talking about recovering from burnout, especially preventing burnout, we got to really pay attention to this as a second level to improving our own energy levels in our bodies. I really love reflecting on Stephen Porges and the polyvagal theory. So one thing that the polyvagal theory looks at is the importance of the vagus nerve and how it impacts our social connections. But we're wired as humans to seek and confirm support from other humans around us. And the way that we seek that support is by looking in other humans' faces and by listening to their voices. And when that happens, our vagus nerve comes online, especially the part of our vagus nerve which is called our ventral vagal complex. And this helps us feel more balanced in our body. Our heart rates slow down. Our emotional well-being rises. Our neurobiology, neurochemicals in our body are associated with helping us feel better, help us feel lighter, helping us feel more positive when the ventral vagal complex is activated. And the VVC, what we call the ventral vagal complex, is activated when we are having positive social engagement, positive social connections with people. And again, we get that from looking in people's faces. When we're experiencing stress, however, that ventral vagal complex, that part of the vagus nerve, actually can get shut down. And we have a harder time hearing people's supportive voices. And we have a harder time recognizing in people's faces that we feel supported. We actually have a disconnect with that because once we're in that excessive stress, that fight or flight, we're really looking for survival. The reason I say that is because if we can become aware that we have trouble recognizing social support when we're experiencing stress, we can maybe just stop and slow down for a second and really make a point of spending time in environments that help us feel supported and with people that help us feel supported, and take time to kind of really connect with people in their eyes and in their faces and in their voices to really help to engage that part of our nervous system to help ourselves feel more positive. So I know this is really hard to believe, especially when we're feeling stressed. But there is a truth that the universe is always friendly to us. The universe is always friendly to us if we will let it be. That possibility always exists for us. And when we can tap into that relationship with other people and really let that become a truth for us, we've really taken care of that second level of burnout, that feelings of negativity towards work and towards our life around us. Okay, so we've tackled the first two so far. Loss of energy, number one. Second, those feelings of negativity. Now let's go to the third one. So the third one is this sense of hopelessness and lack of purpose. Now enter holistic coaching. So in this video, we're really talking about how we can tackle burnout, how we can prevent burnout, recover from burnout by using bioenergetics and holistic coaching. So bioenergetics, remember, is how we talk about what energy flow in the bodies. We've already tackled that a little bit. So let's go to holistic coaching now. So coaching at its heart is about helping someone find the answers within themselves. And holistic coaching leverages all aspects of a person's experience, body, mind, and spirit. Now, a great holistic coach is also trauma informed and has had somatic coach training, meaning that they can work effectively with a person's body to balance the flow of energy and also support healthy social connections. Now, oftentimes, like doing those first two steps, like helping people enhance, balance, optimize the flow of energy in their body, and then also create positive social connections and feedback by activating that part of the vagus nerve, the polyvagal complex. Just by doing those two things alone is a really natural gateway to helping someone revive a sense of purpose. And the mistake that most life coaching professionals make is to try to help someone find purpose and rediscover their purpose without first managing their energy. Like if someone's in low energy, it's really challenging to help them find a sense of purpose because their body feels so heavy and so uncomfortable. It's a recipe for failure. And I've seen so many people make this mistake. Now, on the other hand, when energy is restored first and social connections are made healthy second, and that's when rediscovering our purpose through coaching is much more effective and really can become quite enjoyable. And this is why holistic coaching and somatic coach training in particular are so very important right now in this world as we are in the midst of a massive burnout blessing, massive burnout blessing. So this is how we do it in summary. We address the body first, enhance the flow of energy. We build supportive social connections, and then rediscovering purpose by asking, here's a secret here, asking these natural law questions. When we do all those things, holistic coaching becomes the best medicine for helping us learn that purpose isn't a thing we do, it's a way to be. So if you found this video valuable, please click the like button, comment down below, share with your friends, and click the subscribe button to get all the insights right here at the Somatic Coaching Academy on a regular basis, delivered right to you. Thanks so much again. I appreciate you spending a few moments with me today and hope that you have an amazingly healthy day.